Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. This is Anna Ortiz-Aragon, and I'm here with my friend Shannon Tamme, and we are here for episode 41, The Power of Organization. Hi, Shannon. How are you?
Hi, Anna. I'm doing really well. How are you? It's so good to be here.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, so good to be here. So Shannon, we've been trying to link up for a while. You are like one of my favorite organizers, and I always wanted another organizer on the show to like help me explain why this is so life-changing. Yes, girl.
Oh,
So
thank you. I
yes.
agree.
Oh, yay. So we met at NAPO. So NAPO is the National Association of Productivity and Organization, I believe, professional
Organizing
organizers.
professionals. Yeah.
Organizing professionals, yes. And so they actually have chapters all over the US. And there's a conference. It's like a big deal. You can get certified. And so that's where we met. And Shannon was like leading the troops. And I just loved your energy, girl. So would you tell us about yourself? Introduce yourself, Shannon.
Yeah. So Shannon Tamme, I am a certified professional organizer and owner of Life Synchronized. I have been in business for 11 years as of this month, which is just wild beyond my imagination, and I'm loving it. I am a mom and a wife and a family. I do like love family, so it's just been very interesting with how the world has shaped our field and changed it and morphed it, and I am one of those people that just roll with the punches, so I'm just kind of taking it as it comes and living in that moments and kind of making up the decisions, and yeah, it's just great. So, and thanks so much for having me, Anna. This was so much fun.
Yay, yay, Shannon. Yes, I agree. Like the world, particularly 2020, has really changed. And also, like this field has become so much more like popular and mainstream. Like first it was Marie Kondo. She wrote her book like 5 years ago, maybe more than that. And then the TV show. And then the home edit, that TV show, which is super interesting. So, how did you get started, Shannon? Was this like something you've always been good at? Like, tell us about your story.
So I do say this. It's funny because I was one of those children that like lines up all their stuffed animals and has space for everything. So I was, kind of naturally, organized. But what really jumped me into this whole profession was my father. So back in, 11 years ago, I was working at a job, basically doing accounts receivable in, spreadsheets and behind a desk, and it was just really sucking my soul dry. And so
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something with helping people. My degree is in psychology and sociology. I had done a lot of different things trying to find out what my thing was. Like, what can I contribute to this world instead of a spreadsheet? So my dad and my dad was taking care of my grandmother, and she had Alzheimer's, and she was living with him, and it became way too much for him to take on personally. And so she still had her house and her things, but we decided we would, place her into a memory care unit, and at that point clean out her house and sell it. And my
Mhm.
dad said, hey, I think this is worth something. I can sell this on eBay. And that became boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff that he was going to do. And at that time, working in accounts receivable, I was like, Dad, you got to think of your time versus your money and all that. What is this really worth it? How are you going to spend your retirement like this? And he just had it in his brain that these things were so worthy. And I said, well, when you're ready, you just let me know. I will find somebody to help you or whatnot. And so a year later, he came to me and he said, I'm ready. So I went out and Google searched. I knew organizers existed, but I didn't know what or where or what, how to find them. So I found NAPO, and then I found the local chapter, and I hired one of the organizers on there. And when she came over and did the assessment and walked through the house, asked the questions, all that stuff, I thought, this is very interesting. This is culminating everything that I've done in my past, as well as like what I'm nature bound to do. So I asked her, I said, well, how did you get involved? And she said, well, I just joined NAPO, took the classes, and I said, okay. At the time, it was this whole stars aligning, right? Because my husband was getting ready to ship overseas and spend a year in Afghanistan. And I was like, well, I can, start this business and you'll be gone and I'll be able to start it. And so I did. I jumped into NAPO, jumped into the classes, started working with that particular organizer that was working with my dad. And the rest is history, as they say. So I am now 11 years into this and I love it so much. Just so rewarding.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think one of the reasons why I really connected with you is because you love the psychology and sociology. And essentially, the mental, emotional aspect of this work and how deep it really is,
Yeah.
Yes,
We've talked about that before together. Like, it's just a holistic thing. So not
yep.
only does it affect, interior affects the exterior and vice versa. So it's just this whole energy that surrounds us, whether it's internal or external, it's going to show up. So we've really got to dig deep and figure out what it is that is stopping us or keeping us, holding on to these things. And then, just like you said, let it go. Just like, try to get to a better space. So, yes.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So in terms of letting go, how can we teach people, guide people in this process?
Yeah, I think the biggest part is I've seen this. This is one of the examples of where people find worth, like my dad, in something.
Yep.
And they think that they could make money on it or that it is worth something. But I really try to explain to them that a piece of something, a product or an item or something is only worth something to someone once they buy it. Like, so if you say like this is going to sell for $100, well, it may, and it may not. It might sell for more, it might sell for less, but it's really not worth that until somebody actually pays for it and spends the money on it. So it's really hard for people to get an idea about the worth of it. And that you have to kind of take it into, consideration, like how long have you had it? And is it really serving you right now? Is it, something that you use, you love, you absolutely love? So are you going to put it in the space? Are you going to, do anything with it? But I really try to say, if you can, take a picture of it or take a picture of you with it. Or is there a picture of you with it? If it's a grandmother's item, is there a picture of her with it? And then kind of cherish that picture of it. You don't necessarily need the actual item per se if you don't use it and love it. And so I try to put that on there. And then, if they are going to give it to someone that would appreciate it. So I know a lot of people have a problem with donating things because they don't necessarily see who it's going to go to. So maybe trying to find someone that could really love it and use it would be great within the family or, just a friend or someone that loves that item. The other thing would be just to find a great charity that speaks to you. Like, whether it's, Oasis or like Miriam's Switching Post or something like that, that has a calling that you align with, that is the best way to part with that item too. So I hope that was a lot talking.
No, yeah, that was wonderful, girl. Yeah, letting go. I mean, I find the same thing with my clients, like we are very sentimental. We are sentimental beings and, we have a lot of attachments and memories and emotions. And so I really love that idea of taking a picture of it or a picture with yourself with the item. Like maybe that's your favorite shirt, but it's really old and torn, and maybe it's from high school. Like it might be time to let it go.
Right.
And then how many of our clients like hold on to the things they're going to sell and don't really consider the time and energy? Like, are you really going to take the action steps needed? Like, are you going to post the pictures? Are you going to share them on Facebook Marketplace or put them on the apps, Craigslist, eBay, like whatever way you want to sell? Are you actually going to do that? Or is that going to be like a box in the basement or a box in your closet that is like unfinished business, right?
Yes, and put a time limit on it. You know, that's one of the
Yes.
big things I'll tell people is just put a time limit on it. If you don't do that within 3 to 6 months, the chances are you're not going to do it. So
Right.
you know, find a good place, a good home for it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is time versus money. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And
And
time
then
is
it's like,
expensive.
time is
Your time is
expensive.
worth. Yes, yes, your time is much more worthy, like of spending time with things that you love or people that you love or you know things
Mhm.
that you really love, not on things that you don't really. Just let that go.
Yeah, I agree. It's like we're basically placing our value outside of ourselves. We're like, okay, well, I am a better mom or woman if I have all these nice things, you know? And like instead of realizing your worth and your presence and your energy is the golden ticket, like you are the golden ticket. And something else that just came to my mind is families that may have collected so much stuff, they're very sentimental, lots of, you know, items, collectibles. What happens when someone passes away, right? Like you're really transferring that burden onto your children, which can be like a huge burden to carry. What would you say, how many of your clients are dealing with like a loss in the family?
Oh gosh, yeah. So I would say a few, you know, right now
Mm-hmm.
currently, but I've dealt with that quite a bit over my career, and yes, so a lot
Mm-hmm.
of what I see now are people preparing for
Yeah.
those children, you know, so they're like, I don't want to leave all this to them, so I want to take care of it now, and so that they don't have to deal with it because they had to deal with it with their parents. So they
Yes.
see exactly what is going to happen. And they've talked to them, you know, they've had the conversations with, do you want these items? Do you not want these items? They're starting to put names on the things, you know, or like, you know, a post-it on it on the back or something like this goes to so and so. But yes, it's happening more and more and more now because a lot of younger generations don't really want this stuff. You know, we're just
Yeah.
getting to a point where we don't feel value in stuff anymore, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Right.
a great turn of events, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
evolution, you know, like, yes.
yes. And you said it directly. You know, I've heard this quite a bit. We're giving a gift, not a burden. So whenever you're giving someone something, don't expect them to love it as much as you do, because although you may think they will love it, they may not, and it's okay for them to part with it. You know, you gave a gift because you wanted them to enjoy it. So I try to always put that into people's minds too. Like, just that person gave you a gift, not a burden. So just understand that
Yes,
they had the best intentions, but if you don't love it, it's okay to part with it. So yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I think that's a big thing. A lot of people are like, oh, my dad gave me that, you know, my boyfriend gave me that, my sister gave me that. And they feel guilty. They're like, I can't give it away because maybe they'll come over and see that I don't have it anymore, potentially. But that never actually happens, you know, like,
Does anybody? I will actually
yeah.
sit there and ask. Now, would they actually ask you where is such and such if you did, and they're like, oh, yeah, they would, and I'm like, really? And then they
Right,
go, okay, yeah, you're right. They wouldn't ask
right.
if it was there.
To
So yeah,
release like the guilt. And, you know, if it was really a gift, it would not have any strings attached, right? Um,
right.
yeah, so many themes of like worthiness and receiving. And, also, I think it's really about learning about yourself. Maybe you grew up in a home with lots of clutter. Your parents did not really take care of the house, or they were super collector item folks. And you go to college, or, you move out and you do the same things just because that's how it was when you were a child. And a lot of us don't even know or realize that that's not even how we want to live. Yeah, like when you go to a hotel or something, yeah, like hotels, why do we like hotels? Why do we go on vacation? Because it's clean and it's clear. There's not a lot of stuff, and you can actually sleep, can really be luxurious and take your time. And there's a reason for that. So I often bring that comparison, like, okay, think about a hotel room. Think about an Airbnb. Like, they keep it very clean and clutter free so that you can spend your time doing what you want to do and really relax and be with your family.
Yes, yes, you're right. There are so many things that we bog down in our visual, like, that really just bogs us down mentally, that we're like, okay, I need to get to that. I need to do to that. And it's like, wait a minute, but if you didn't have that, you would be able to just, free your mind, as they say, that song, so you
Yeah,
could,
yeah.
you could totally, yeah.
Absolutely. Mental clutter, visual clutter, like these things, they seem so subtle or maybe even non-existent. But when you pile them on top of each other and you think about the average mom who makes like 100 decisions before she even leaves the house, like doing yourself a favor and letting go of all the to-do list, the unfinished business can open up so much space for what you really want to be doing with your life.
Agreed. Wholeheartedly. You're speaking, you're speaking to me, my heart.
Yes, absolutely, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are some common themes that you see with your families that you work with? Maybe some common patterns or themes that you see on a regular basis that you help them with.
A lot of what I see is that the time, lack of time to deal with it, So
Hmm.
we're so busy nowadays. And I think what's been also a positive point to COVID and coronavirus is that we are given time back. We are
Yes.
given time back in our houses, in our spaces, and not having to be as busy. So a lot of people right now are saying, hey, I really need to deal with this. And I don't know how to start. And I don't know what to do. And I don't know where to go with this stuff. So a lot of people are calling me right now because they're just having time to really sit in their space and think about what they want. So it's amazing that this is happening, because I feel this is where we're supposed to be and the trajectory that we're going on. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I would believe that 100%. Like, I read an article that we're spending like an average of 9 more hours in the home every day than we used to. And if you are going to work, you're dropping off the kids. Some of the moms that I've spoken to and worked with are basically gone for like 12 hours by the time soccer practice is over, or basketball, or work. And they're doing a lot of takeout, and they're not even like enjoying their space and their home. And it's like, why are we paying the mortgage? Why are we paying the rent if we're not even like spending time here, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's so true. We were so busy that I
Yeah.
think we just didn't really take the time for ourselves and our space, that we really want to spend time in. Why did we buy that? Why did we do that? We want to enjoy it. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's great.
Hmm.
I think it's exactly where we're supposed to be right now.
I agree. I think it shows, just like you said, the generations are becoming more not necessarily minimalist, but just aware, you know, like a lot of the newer generations are not buying homes because they don't want to be attached and have that responsibility. A lot of people, well, before Corona, and I'm sure after, will be traveling also. And when you travel, like, I think that's what really taught me, is that my dad was a longtime traveler, same with my mom, and you don't want to pack huge luggage with you if you're going on the train or going on the airplane or in and out of taxis. You don't want to literally lift these huge bags and carry them with you. And then you open them up and you realize you didn't wear like 70% of the clothes that you brought with you, right? So packing light and being okay without, you know, like the lack mentality. Like, can you find peace with less?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
The piece of having us. Yes, exactly. And that's exactly
Yeah,
what we're talking about. That's the power of it. It's like living with less is going to give you more. You
it
know, the
is.
power's there, and you just got to really hone into it. And um, there's a lot of psychology behind that. So there is
Mm,
a lot of folks that have a hard time with that because you said like they grew up in either they had traumas or they were in an environment that was just the same way and they don't know any different. And that's what's guiding them, is those traumas or the fact that this was the way that it was. And so for you and I and other organizers trying to figure that piece out with the client, if they're ready and wants to delve into that and get into that, to figure it out and kind of move forward, that's where we come into play. We're not just about the stuff. I mean, I can make a place
exactly.
look great, right? We can move
Yeah,
it. We can get rid of it. We can put it in
yeah,
somewhere else and make it look great, but that's just pushing it aside. That's not really
ex-
dealing with it. So, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, like what is the root cause? How did we get here? And then how are you going to maintain your space? Like, what are some tips that you have for maintaining?
So again, yeah, it's like having a home for everything is key.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are all human. We are going to just come in the door, take our shoes out, take our coat off, whatever. We are going to do that by nature. So we might have a little bit of clutter, but if it's something that you have a home for, so you can just tidy up real quick in 15 to 30 minutes, you're good. It's fine. But if
Yep.
it's something that you're like constantly seeing a pile grow on the table or something like that, I don't have a space for this, then figuring out what's there, where it
Mm-hmm.
should live. Is that where it should live or not? And just trying to figure
Right.
out the systems, because the systems are what's going to keep it going. So finding a process, finding a system, and maintaining it. And there are clients, don't get me wrong, that I'll go in and still do their filing for them because they really just don't like doing it, and I'm so
Yeah.
much faster than they would be. So they're just
Right.
like, I'll just get you to do it for me because it's just faster, and I
Right.
really love it. So I'll just, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their strengths and everybody has their weaknesses, and realizing and be aware of that, not wary of it, aware of it is key. So yeah, I think
Absolutely.
that's those are my key points.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Think when you are finding systems, you know, like don't be upset if you don't get it right the first time. You know, make room for trial and error. Like, okay, so maybe you're in the bathroom or in the kitchen and you move the silverware and it ends up not being in a very helpful place. Like, it's okay to go back, move some other things around to make it more supportive of your lifestyle and your family, you know. Trial and error, I think, is key
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
this. It's like a whole lifetime of habits and routines. So to expect everything to turn overnight, like I think the Netflix Marie Kondo and the home edit, they really make it seem like, okay, we solved the problem in like 2 days. And they don't show the behind the scenes of like, okay, well, we are humans and we like patterns and routines and we repeat ourselves a lot. So to change neural pathways, and to change your actual environment is going to take some time. So to really give yourself grace to settle in and, you know, discover how you really want to move through your space. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Give yourself grace. Everybody has to have that, right? You know, nothing
Yep.
is perfect. We're not perfect. We're not. So why?
Ooh. Okay, you guys, it looks like we lost Shannon, but I'm sure she's going to hop back in any moment now. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to go over some tips, some organization tips. So first, creating a home for everything. Okay, everything needs a home. Second would be creating systems. And third would be giving yourself the time and space to rearrange those systems. And something that I'm going to ask Shannon when she comes back on here is how to empower the family to work with you. So a lot of my clients are, and Shannon, because we talk a lot, is families, right? And it's a lot of moms who are looking to organize their house, but they feel like it's like an avalanche of stuff, right? The stuff keeps coming and coming and coming, and they don't know how to solve the problem. And if you're living with other folks, it's really important to win their cooperation and for you to not be doing it all on your own. So what are some ways that we can empower our children? So a lot of accounts that I follow are like Montessori programs, okay? I love Montessori. One of my best friends is a preschool teacher at Montessori, and Montessori is so cool because it really empowers the kids to have their own stuff. Like, here's your little bookshelf, here's your little stove, here's your little backpack cubby holder, and it's up to you to like clean your dishes. It's up to you to put your trash away. It's up to you to put your stuff away and know where it is. And if we can train our children really young to start doing these things, it's going to be really life-changing. Okay, so first, it teaches them responsibility. Second, it empowers them because they are going to know how to do things when they grow up, right? And then I think it's just really like thinking of your child as like moving on without you, right? So how are they going to live in college? How are they going to live with their first partner or roommate? Are they going to know how to do their laundry? Like, my mom had us doing the laundry at like 7 years old, and we were always doing the dishes. We were cooking super early. Like, we know how to maintain a house. And that's probably what really attracted me to this career. And then if you have a partner, you know, you got to have those conversations. Ideally, before you move in together, you want to have these conversations about like, hey, so, you know, how do you take care of your chores and the cleaning and maintain your space? And maybe like, what times of the day do you do these things? What times of the week do you do these things? What categories do you feel like you have a solid handle on? What categories do you feel like are kind of out of control? And then also, when you're moving in together, sharing space, obviously, like sharing your closet. And I think it's just really about delegating. Like, if you want, you could literally take a piece of paper and then write down all the different chores and things, errands that you have going on, and delegate. And just like Shannon said, speaking to each other's strengths. Like, not everybody is good at everything, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. So it's like playing up what you're good at. Like, if someone loves grocery shopping, let them handle the grocery shopping. If someone else loves the home improvement, let them do that, right? If someone is like super into yard work or landscaping, like, let them take those chores, right? Or if someone loves to drive, maybe they can be the one that gets the oil changes, that gets the car washes, that picks up the kids, that gets out so they can see stuff when they're driving. They want to see the trees, they want to see the city or the other houses, and they can really own their strengths. Yay! Okay, you guys, so Shannon's back. I knew she was coming back.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, Shannon.
Technology at its greatest, right?
Totally, girl. No worries.
Thank you for
oh my gosh. Yes, I was freestyling. Okay, so two things that I just talked about was like how to empower your kids and partner, Shannon. Do you have any tips for us to like win cooperation with the family?
Big thing is just having that conversation, opening the
Mhm.
conversation up. Like, we're a family. We need to keep this going all together. It's a team effort. We're a team. And what can we do to do that? You know, so I have my son pick things that he wants to do as his chores. He's 6, so he can actually do things. You know, he says, "Oh, I can dust and I can pick up my toys and do something." You know, like, he helped me. I know sounds gross, but clean the toilet.
Yeah,
But he can
yeah.
help me do that now. So these are things that I try to incorporate into him to try to keep up with the housework, also teach him responsibility of how a house, is run. So that's my tips. And then, just
Oh, it looks like we lost Shannon again. That's okay. So I'm going to reiterate what you said. So basically, age appropriate chairs. So her son is 6, my son is 2.5. When you have like a 2 or 3-year-old, they can put stuff away. Okay, they can put their toys away. They can put the books back on the bookshelf. They can put the clothes in the laundry hamper. They can help you dust. They can wipe down counters. When the kids are like 6 and 7, they can help you cook. Okay, they can help you unload the dishwasher. They have like some better motor skills, so they're not going to drop all of your like glass and ceramics and shatter it on the floor. um yes, age appropriate chores. And then obviously when they get to like 10 and up, they can start babysitting for sure. Like 12-year-olds 100% can babysit. And then obviously when they get their car, that's when you can really spread out the errands. And you're like, okay, so hey, daughter who is 16, can you go pick up the dry cleaning? Can you go to the grocery store? Can you go get a car wash for us? Can you drop these donations off? Like, those are 100% things that your family can help you with. And it's going to be infinitely easier to keep your house together when you have cooperation. And Shannon is hopping back on right now. I'm about to put her back on here. Hey, girl. Oh, lovely. Oh my gosh. So I just basically like reiterated what you said. Yay. And then, okay, so with your partner, like, okay, think about like a couple that's about to get married or people that are going to move in with each other. So they need to have those real conversations, right? They need to have those conversations. And then how do you deal with like, sharing closet space or, delegating? I think delegating and really speaking up is like crucial because women will take the burden. They will take most of it, and like we can 100% have our partners support us.
Yes, and having that, like that, having those open conversations is key. It's really essential to, any partnership. You want to make sure that where each person is mentally. Like, that husband or something might have been raised with a mom who did everything, and so he might be wanting a mate that does that. And so you have to make it clear, like, hey, I'm not that person. So if you want that person, that's not me. But we can hire someone who can be that person.
Yes.
So just having those conversations is really key because that is it. You were right. That put the nail on the head completely. Open conversations.
Open conversations. Yeah. And then something I mentioned earlier was like playing to your strengths. Like if someone loves to drive, maybe they can pick up the kids. They can drop off the donations. They can do the car wash. They can go to the post office. Like someone that likes to be out and about, give them those kinds of things. We're losing a little connection here. Oh man, we lost her again. That's okay. Well, essentially, everyone, I really wanted to have a fellow organizer on the show because I wanted someone else to give you some like real life tips of working with clients, some personal experience, and basically another view of why having a clear space is so life-changing, you know? So I love Shannon. I miss her. I can't wait to see her again. All the girls at NAPO are absolutely amazing. And here she is. And I'm going to put her information right here. Hey, love bug.
Hey, I'm so sorry. This is like
That's okay, girl.
unbelievable.
That's okay, love bug. Okay, so I'm going to keep it short.
So grateful.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so I basically just told everyone that I really wanted to have Shannon on here to get like another perspective about why this life is so amazing and how this can truly change your space to really simplify, declutter, and, you know, have the house that really brings you peace, and to have the family that like actually supports you so you're not doing it all by yourself. Yes. Okay, so before we go, I'm going to ask you two more things. So what is something that you personally have recently let go of?
Something that I've recently let go of is, well, and not completely, but I'm working on it, is the perfectionism, you know, because that's kind of me. You know, I want to get it perfect and do it just right. And not everything is. And I've been working on that like for years. And I am letting go. I'm letting go a little bit by little bit, and then, like you said, delegating. So I'm letting go of some of the responsibilities and such. So that's really helpful too. So yeah, those are the things that I'm working on.
Beautiful, girl. Yes, I'm the same way. I have a lot of like perfectionist in me, but you know, that's like a train that you're never going to catch. So give yourself grace there. And know that we're all doing our best. Like we do better as soon as we know better. I think Maya Angelou said that. Do better once you know better. And then to not give yourself flack for not knowing. Like, hey, I didn't know, and now I figured it out. Now I have new information, and I can make different choices, right? Yay!
That is so true. You what you.
Yes. Okay, Shannon. So I am. Yes. Oh, okay. So let's see if we can get this one question, and then we're going to sign off. Okay, so Shannon, tell us where to reach you. I did put your information right here in the banner, but tell us verbally where we can reach you.
Thanks. Yes, it's at Life Synchronized on Facebook. So Synchronized is spelled SYNCHRONIZED, and the website is www.
Life Synchronized. Okay. .com. I'm just gonna quick so you guys have it there. Yay. Okay, so Shannon is she's gone, but thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed hearing from another organizer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And please check out my past episodes. So Declutter Your Life is the podcast, and these episodes are available everywhere that podcasts are available. So iTunes, Spotify, so many different places. And I also am now putting them on YouTube. Okay, and we're going to put Shannon on one more time to say goodbye. Hey, love bug.
I'm so grateful for you. Oh my gosh. And I am so happy that we met, because I simply just love you and where you are as a person. You're beautiful. You're awesome. You're smart. You're so many things wrapped up in one. And I'm so proud to call you my friend and colleague, and I wish you all the best.
Oh, girl, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
I feel the same way. Thank you, girl. You're amazing. And this is beautiful work that we do. So thank you for everything. And I think we're going to sign off, everybody. So thank you, Shannon, for joining us. And I hope everyone has a great day. Okay.